What's up guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be talking about one of the most intriguing factors of the Toaru franchise, and that is the Imagine Breaker. Depicted as nothing other than a negation ability in volume 1, soon we were shown that there was more to it in the form of the Dragon King that took down Izzard in volume 2, destroyed Misaka 5.3 in Railgun Dai Hasasai, and the invisible thing that intimidated the great Fiyama of the right. It's one of the most well-endowed mysteries of the franchise and one that has encouraged readers to dig up their own theories about Imagine Breaker. From the Philosopher's Stone to Touma himself being regarded as the thematic deity Hadit, the theories keep on coming. In New Testament volume 18, Alistair cited that Imagine Breaker was originally an exorcism tool which resided in the right hand of a saint. If you look at the history of exorcism and the inherent meaning of it, then it makes sense. Now, exorcism isn't linked solely to demons and evil spirits. It can be linked to misfortunes and disasters. Kinda ironic for Touma wielding an anti-misfortune armory in his right hand while he is almost blessed with misfortunes, electric shocks and bites. But anyway, Imagine Breaker embodies the spirit of exorcism since it negates the supernatural and in context of Touma, drives away someone else's misfortune. There can be several links to what the Eldritch Zoo in Touma's right hand actually is, although the closest literal similarity would have been with the holy right which Fiyama already used. The legend is based on St.Stephen's right hand, which remained intact for centuries and was regarded as a very valuable and holy object. It also ties well to the notion of Imagine Breaker being a reset button wished by magicians in case they messed up the world too badly. But does that mean there is no Imagine Breaker equivalent in real life mythology? Well, there are probably a lot of symbolic and similar entities when you look at the essence of the concept of exorcism, and today I'd like to talk about one of them from Hinduism. Why suddenly Hinduism? Isn't Index more focused on Christianity? I'm not saying it isn't, and I'm not instigating that this is where the series might be going, but rather this is a speculation based on the current focus in Toaru, and that is Rosicrucianism. You see, in 1614, Fama Fratanitas, a mysterious document, appeared in the German town of Kassel, and it pretty much led to an uproar as it talked about a fantastic tale of a secret brotherhood who called themselves Rosicrucians, led by their founder, Christian Rosenkreutz. Their core focus was alchemy, spiritual wealth, and the teachings were later explored in the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, the same group Crowley and Mathers were a part of. The story's climax focuses on the discovery of Christian Rosenkreutz's tomb in a concealed underground vault, and engraved upon his tomb were the words, "Unto the glory of the Rose Cross, I have constructed this tomb for myself as a compendium of the universal unity." This is interesting because it actually relates to Hermetism or Hermeticism. Hermeticism is a philosophical system that is primarily based on the purported teachings of Hermes Trismegistus. In the Renaissance, a more modern view of Hermetism came into light, and this developed into the notion of a Prisca Theologica, or ancient theology, which asserted that there is a single true theology which was given by God to some of the first humans, and traces of which may still be found in various ancient systems of thought. And finally, it evolved into the idea which was proposed by Agostino Stueco, that one and the same divine truth may be found in the religious and philosophical traditions of different periods and places, all considered as different manifestations of the same universal perennial philosophy. Or, every religious and theological school of thought might be looking at and perceiving the same divine truth but in various different ways. In that sense, I think I can be forgiven for talking about Hinduism today. Now, as far as Imagine Breaker is concerned, as I mentioned before, Fiyama's Holy Right truly would have been the best match as far as factual occult Imagine Breaker evidence is concerned. But given in New Testament volume 18, it was specifically mentioned that IB is a sort of exorcism tool, I think we can look at it from a broader and interpretative point of view. And the Imagine Breaker equivalent that best goes with this would be the Kamodaki Gada wielded by Vishnu. By the way, in case people are unfamiliar with him, he made a very brief appearance in New Testament volume 10 when Marian was using Dainsleif, and this was a Vishnu avatar to be more exact, which in NT10 prioritized destroying the greater evils and not directly going after Touma, which is somewhat inaccurate going by Hindu lore, but that's for another time. The point here is, this entity in question has made an appearance in the story so far. There are 3 reasons why I specifically chose the Kamachi maze. Imagine Breaker destroys illusions, and here illusions doesn't just mean supernatural phenomenon. It can also be a mistaken belief that the characters hold on to, which helps them justify their actions no matter how wrong they may actually be. The Kamachi maze is also factually described as an illusion killer. It destroys Maya, which is the Sanskrit word for illusion. It can be someone's wrong view of life, attachments, and other supernatural elements. And Maya, according to the Hindu lore, is what leads to suffering, to the point that even death itself is referred to as nothing but Maya. Maya is the illusion that people hold on to while in their physical and mortal bodies, where fear of death and misfortune makes them do terrible things, but when the same people achieve spiritual enlightenment, that is moksha, they will do what is right no matter what the cost is, in a detached fashion. From a philosophical point of view, and just taking the Imagine Breaker into consideration, the way Touma uses Imagine Breaker to free someone from their crippling thoughts, like Vento in the Academicity invasion arc, has a strong correlation with what Vishnu's mace does. The second reason, and that is the Philosopher's Stone. I'm sure most of you are already aware that there's a very popular theory in the Toaru fandom that Imagine Breaker might actually be the Philosopher's Stone, and there are many hints that suggest so. The first one being, Touma's right hand regrows every time it is cut, which could probably reflect the Philosopher's Stone's healing properties. The second one, Othinus describing it as a panacea in New Testament 22 reverse, and it could possibly have been used to heal Misaki. And another point, and an interesting one at that, is the Philosopher's Stone was also described by the Hindu saints, and it was described as Chintamani, which means something that grants wishes. In Hinduism, the Philosopher's Stone is strongly linked to Vishnu, Lord Ganesh, and even Shiva, who has a snake around his neck, which could also tie in well with the dragons that came out of Touma's arm, as Naga, who sits coiled around Lord Shiva's neck, is also known as the Dragon King. Another popular fact is that Chintamani is also the name of the mother goddess Durga, who was also referenced by the way in the index SS. She herself is also another form of goddess Kali, who is said to reside in Lord Vishnu's mace. So in essence, the mace itself could be interpreted as the Philosopher's Stone, and since goddess Kali controls time, you could essentially even have the power over death, which is another one of Philosopher's Stone's qualities in popular media. The third, and probably the most simple one, is the strong right hand symbolism. The Kamachi mace is almost always on the upper right hand of Lord Vishnu, which is actually visually quite similar to Fiyama of the right. Apart from this, in Railgun SS, Strativira Timelin, the arch enemy of the famous violin of Strativira Einsel, claimed to be a spiritual item dating back to the Rosicrucian age. It's not directly linked, of course. However, the idea of the same set of rules being rewritten and given a different name is a common phenomenon in theology, and also happens to be what Alistair has done in Academicity, by rewriting the rules of Thelema and modifying it to define personal reality. All of the current developments definitely become all the more entertaining since the focus is currently on Rosicrucianism due to Anna, and given the developments of GT7, she may not even stay an enemy in the coming arcs. How do you think things are going to go down? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like the content, and I'll see you in the next video.